Hey Ramona, let's take a look at your week 1 assignment 2. Both of these drawings are showing some good starts with the materials and with the technique. First one is doing a nice job of getting the basic technique down, and I think showing some good consistency in terms of, one is the fill on the side to side, but on the blind I think good consistency in the movement of your marker. Red one feels a little bit rough. It feels like you're just kind of getting used to the markers again, but the blue one, it definitely feels like it's moving along a lot smoother. There's less gap in between the strokes, and the speed of the strokes feels, a little bit better. You're not kind of stopping and starting quite as long, which is why we see kind of these darker dips at the beginning and the end, because as you lay the marker down, it rests for just a second, soaks in with the paper, and then you move. Here we don't see that as much. It feels like it kind of moves along a little bit, more fluidly. You do have to make sure that you're cutting your edges, and I think you are cutting your edges here, but it doesn't feel like you're using the full extent of the chisel like you need to. So you have the marker that has the chisel end, use that thickness to create a very kind of nice thick line. You'll avoid these little issues where you have these little white gaps along the edges because you're just trying so hard to keep everything consistent right up to the edge. If you have a nice kind of thick line here that goes from here to here, you have a little bit more leeway in terms of where you can stop and where you can start, and it not having the gaps showing up. And this is in both cases where if you had a chisel cut that was about this wide, you can see you'd eradicate most of these white gaps that are occurring. The side to side looks great. The red one and the blue one, I think the blue one feels a little better in terms of its consistency as well, but they're both very good, and edge quality in both of these feels very good overall. The colored pencil ones I think are working out well. I think you could experiment and just play around with white a little bit more, as well as just subtly creating gradients and laying in color in a way that it starts to dissipate, because those are, well, one is white is something we'll use a lot of because we use it for highlights and helping to lighten the value of colors that get too dark. But then the gradient thing is just one of those things where markers just don't create gradients that well, so you have to rely on the color pencil a little bit more. I think in terms of creating patterns and laying in the color pencil on top, it's doing a good job in all of these, but I think we'll need to have you be doing more with the colored pencil in terms of blending and color mixture and that sort of stuff. So that's something that you might want to kind of practice with a little bit more. Overall, though, it feels good. It feels like even within the 4 swatches that we have, we see improvements from one to the other. And I'm sure if you've used the markers before, it's just only a matter of time before you start getting back into the groove of using them again.